are going to be facing our lions or challenges of the week. What did you face this week that was challenging?
Good morning and welcome to Finally Friday, where you know that we are facing our challenges. And don't forget, you can write your challenges in the comments or call us directly on our direct connect 661-503-8993. You're always able to catch us either by streaming or live. We're here live. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. As you know, Friday is always a challenge question in your being able to face your lions. We know from Monday to Friday that there are things that we absolutely face without question. What have you faced this week? And nothing is too big and nothing is too small. We're here for you. And if you're listening to us now, please go check out our YouTube channel. We want that page to grow, and I don't know if many of you know that we have YouTube. And it's Facing the Lion podcast. You can learn all about us here. We're here, and I thank you for joining all this week. Thank you so much. Challenges are and can be obstacles, negative or positive, and those challenges can do two things. They can make you grow or stop you dead in your tracks. But since we're talking about living and breathing, we're asking you please to let it be to you your life journey. Let it be to your life journey as we are facing our challenges together. That's another thing. You are not alone as you face your challenges. Though seemingly you may think you're alone, talking about them really helps you. We want to create for our podcast positive vibes for all listeners without trying to milk that we are facing times, good times, bad times, joyful times, painful times. But here's the point. When you reach Finally Friday, it's helping you to be able to take a look back at yourself. How are you doing in this regard? Good morning, Trish, and thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Good morning.
What are you thankful for? And that's for anybody. As we put our information into the box for you, you can answer all week long. You can go back and listen to our recorded podcasts that are already up. And you can answer according to how you feel fit if you want to, or you can just listen. I love interaction. I think that we're doing really well with our interactive podcast. I'm really enjoying that because it gives you all a chance to be able to say what is on your mind at the start of the day. And If you want to catch us and just find out what we're all about, please join our YouTube page. For those of you who are streaming us, we are live some mornings in order to bring you new episodes, real life. And when I say real life, it's far from what they call reality TV. This is real and raw. I'm thankful today for having visited a friend who has stage 4 cancer. I'm thankful that I got to see him. And you already know how I feel about that if you've been with me long enough. I have many friends, or some of those friends have had this illness. It makes me strong. And I felt strong for him because I know what kind of person he is. And I also know that he's lived a great life. I was thankful for that. What are you all thankful for? Starting with you, Trish. What are you thankful for?
I am thankful for seeing another day. Tomorrow's not promised, and I'm grateful for waking up this morning and seeing another day.
Yeah, thank you so much. Challenges that we face are real. Challenges that we face can sometimes seem unending. How many of you have felt like that? Just unending challenges. How are you meeting those challenges? Do you just give up? Or do you want to be like that lion strength? Lion strength represents the power, the courage, the brevity, the intelligence, using your emotional intelligence, knowing that you have the power to face it. Because when we don't know that we can do something, we are challenged when we find out that we've done it, whatever that thing is in our challenge. You know, every day I'm challenged with something, and sometimes it may be the same thing. How many of you have ever had that happen to you, where you were challenged with something? It's the same thing, but a different day.
I have.
And what was that like for you?
It was it was confusing to me, and also it was hard for me because it's like it's repeating itself. It's like history. It just keeps coming back, and I'm like, so is this meant for me to get stronger from it, or is it meant for me to keep revisiting this? There's something I need to change. So that's how it makes me feel.
Yeah. Keyword, something that needs to be changed within ourselves. I figure instead of saying, why does this keep happening? Because we do question that. And there is nothing wrong with questioning why. In fact, I encourage you, why? When it happens, is the preparedness to know how to handle it. You see your what, when, how. Doesn't matter where it happens. But I've learned in my lifetime when something happens, instead of feeling sorry for myself, which I've never done, I always ask, what am I to learn? Because you know you're going to learn something, whether it's patience, whether it's uh, attributes about yourself that, wow, I was smart because I really thought about it this time, and things will re-enter your life. Maybe not the same way or the same place, but it is like replaying it, and it will be with different faces or different experiences. You can learn from that. And here's the question. You can ask yourself, like Trish said, what can I learn from this? One way of learning is to be able to look at yourself, look head on into your challenges. And right now, every last one of you that are listening to this podcast, and believe me, there are many who do, though not in this virtual group. We found that out, and we thank you. When you listen to the words of this podcast today, you are facing something. Whether it's going to be something as small as, and I'm using a scenario, my mother-in-law is coming over. It could be something like that. Or what to wear. We're all facing challenges. We can learn from the very minute challenges, because don't you find that when you're challenged that the challenges change you in some form, or do they? See, we don't give you the answers. We just give you something to think about. We give you something that you will learn to ask yourself questions. Remember the what, how, and why. Those are important factors, because it does matter why. When we go through challenges, sometimes the history, like Trish was bringing on, and thank you for that, Trish, repeats itself. Because you go, why is this back again? How many of you have ever asked that?
I have.
Did you learn the answer?
Yes, I did.
And what do you think your answer was to that question?
My answer was I I was limiting my boundaries. That was my answer to that question. And I needed to have more boundaries.
And with me, mine is always, or when something repeats itself, is learning patience. In fact, I'm facing something right now and I have to learn patience. And I ask myself, every time this happens, what do I need to do? I need to pause. I want to try a little exercise with all of you. And I want you to pause. If you are driving, I don't want you to stop your car. I want you to be in a safe place right now. If you're washing the dishes, I want you to simply stop briefly. Just pause. When we pause, it is like taking a small break to be able to encompass ourselves. And we do that by asking, what challenge right now am I facing? I want you to continue to do what you're doing right now. See, I told you it would be brief. And you might say, well, Miss Nisi, why did you do that? Because you see, to ask you that question, you're going to be thinking about what I just asked you. Why? Because I said, pause, stop for a moment, and then you could go back. You see, just because I'm a certified professional life coach, I am not meant to give you the answers. I'm simply here as your sounding piece so that you can figure it all out. Because you know what some of us have said? I don't care why. Because I don't have to deal with it. Here's another question where I want you to stop briefly and pause. I want to ask you something. Does whatever you're facing, if you think it doesn't bother you, affect you? Because sometimes we're fooling ourselves. You may go back to do what you were doing. That's another question. We're going to leave you with a podcast to help you really to think about what is going on. Because I'd be lying to you all if I told you I had all the answers. We're not even going to do that as a life coach. I want you to say, I know that lady, and I know that she makes us work really hard to figure it out. Because you know what's going to happen? The same challenge you may be faced with, and the next time after today, you will, or maybe not, think about what you have to do about those challenges. You see. Now, when we think about the lion, and you're going to get a really nice analogy of why we are vibe talk facing the lion. You know, lions let you know that they're king of the jungle. There's nothing more masterful in a jungle than a lion. Their roar is vibrational. I don't know if you've all visited the zoo. And if you're like me, I love the zoo. Love, love, love the zoo. It's like a playground to me. If you've ever been close up to a lion or anywhere within the distance to the gated lion, their roar is vibrational. What do I mean by that? You can feel their roar. They're not so loud, but it's the vibration that shakes you up to let you know that there is a lion in your midst. Does everybody get that? So in life, we must not ignore it. We are keenly aware that we just heard a lion. Why? Because it sounds like a lion, although our eyes have not saw it. we can hear, making us keenly aware. I'm going to ask you to stop and pause just for a moment. Are you keenly aware of your challenges that you face every day? Some may not be so big, but you get the vibration of challenges that you face. You know, some of us say, the kids. And you know what we say when we have kids? I felt that, but no. Did you really feel that vibration of kids? Little ones, big ones, strong ones, ones who are challenged. Or we say the dogs or our animals. See, all those are being keenly aware of what is going on. All those bullet points are your challenges. If you have a device among you today, I would love for you to write your first bullet point. See, because right now we are in a world that is very jungle-like. Some of us can tell you exactly what our lions are, while others of us realize that it's the kids, it's the dog, it's this, that, and the other. And we choose to ignore it altogether. How many of you are ignoring it? The sound of your lions. You know, our challenges could be facing marital problems, facing relationship problems, facing social problems, the neighbor, the mailman, the milkman, and whatever else. But today I want you to write a bullet point. And if you're a couple, be honest with each other, because as a couple you might have one for her and one for him. And that's okay. Vibe Talk vibrates you to feel and think and then change something, the vibrational order of your life, of my life, as I'm no better than you and I will vouch for that. So what is your first bullet point, Trish?
My first bullet point is trusting myself.
Yeah,
That's my challenge.
yeah. Mine is patience, being patient. You see, things come up in my life that I need patience. Now, I need to ask myself, how will patience benefit me? Trish, on the other hand, is talking about trusting. Let's ask you something, Trish. It's a pass or play. If you want to talk about it, if you don't want to talk about it, just say pass. We're okay with that. In your trust issues, what is the challenge that you face?
Wow. Okay. In my trust issues, I'm gonna
And it
play
could be
guys.
one. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I said I'm gonna play guys.
Okay.
But in my trust issues, the main challenge I have is um trusting my judgment and my character. Sometimes I question, am I really who I say I am? And is this growth even for real? So that's my challenge in trusting myself.
Thank you for being brave. Thank you for that. Because many of us have, as we stare into the lion, which represents your challenges, we are our own challenge. Trisha and I just gave you two very different challenges about ourselves. Mine is patience. If people tell me that they're going to give me something if I'm getting better about the grocery store, literally. I've really practiced that. But when I really have to have something and they say, well, it's not going to be done until this day. And I say, why does this keep happening to me? It's because I need to be able to learn how to face the challenge of patience. Have I mastered it? I would probably give myself a C minus. How do we rate ourselves when it comes to facing challenges of our own inward selves? Because sometimes, even though the bullet point could be, he makes me mad, she makes me mad, they make me angry, thus and so forth. Sometimes we have to master our own challenges. Because you know what we do? We want to master other people's challenges. How many of you have found yourself doing that? And you say, I know I can help that person, or that person needs to do this. Have you done it once? Twice? Are you still doing it? You see, because you always may want to help the other person. And that's what we teach in Vibe Talk, for you to take a look at a glance, reflect and pause on you. Because just as someone else has challenges, you also have challenges. And we don't want you to feel like you're being picked on. We just want to give you some thought. It's finally Friday. You may have been dealing with a challenge all week long, and here it is, Friday. You started at Monday, and you say to yourself, I'm still challenged with this. And you're saying what to do, what to do, what to do. But I ask you to pause. I'm asking you right now. If you're driving, we don't want you to do that. We don't want you to stop in the traffic. We want your brain to pause for a moment. Because when we have a pausing point, those bullet points are like the pauses in our life. That is giving us room and space to think. Nobody that listens, nobody that comes is above thinking about your challenges. So as you bullet point today, you might have several bullet points, but I really want you to think on the first one, because when we think about ourselves and the things that we want to change, it could be a story long, a biography. I don't want you to do that, because I want you to accept yourself as being imperfect, because we all are. But if have that one thing that you really need to work on, you need to figure out why. When did you start to feel that way? Why are you feeling that way? Trish and I gave you scenarios. I gave you one with the patience, and she gave you one with the trust. And if you're not understanding it, I would love to hear from you. We have our number, Vibe Talk Direct Connect, 661-503-8993. And you can always comment. We love to answer. Now, thinking about the challenges, how long have you been dealing with the same challenge? And how do you perceive the challenges that you face? Is it woe is me? Or wow, I really learned from that. Because you know what? I faced all those lions that were in my life. And there will be more to come. There will be more that challenge you. Our challenges in life seem devastating enough. In our journey through life is an experience. And that's why people write books. But in your case, if you haven't written a book, you come to Vibe Talk and you learn so much about you. In the few minutes that you and I have been together, you probably discovered something about yourself. Your bullet points of what is challenging me. You know, because every day is something. Every person that you've ever come across in life, every person you will ever cross in life has a story. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. Let's take a journey. I want you right now to place yourself in a vehicle or in some sort of transportation mode. I'm going to get in the car. Wherever you're living, I want you to pause for a moment, and I want you to take a journey's drive. And we're going to drive through our neighborhoods. Now, we realize that there's many of you who are listening to us that may live where there's a mass of water by the beach. And I want you to cruise. I want you to put your vehicle on cruise. You know, they have bikes that can do that. And I want you to move forward. And as you look to your left and to your right, you're coming down and you're driving along and you see a greenhouse, and then over here is a yard. It has no flowers, it's just dirt. Then you see the next house, it's pristine, and they even have a dog or cat and a couple kids. I've just mentioned 3 houses. Now, from the looks of things, just because you have reflected, you say, oh, they have kids. And oh, them over there, they never keep their yard clean. Their yard is just a mess. And the brick house, oh, that's safe because bricks don't catch fire, so they're good. They can keep their house. Good morning and welcome. and the house will be safe. Good morning. Where are you listening in? Please and thank you as we talk about our challenges, and we're asking the question, what challenges are you facing, past or present? Please and thank you. And please go check out our YouTube by the same name, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion. And where are you listening in from? Please and thank you. So we're still on the journey, right? What we don't know is the inside, the interior of the houses. I mentioned 3, right? If you were listening. Now let's take a look at the greenhouse. Nice color. But in that house lives residents. Good morning and welcome, Caesar. Welcome to our program, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion. And we're asking the question, what challenges have you or are you facing, past or present? Thank you for joining us. And where are you listening in from? The greenhouse. What you didn't know in that greenhouse that was there, nobody lives there. Nobody's lived there for years. That house has simply been abandoned. Didn't we see a house with no flowers? And we said about that house inside or outside, they never keep their yards clean. That yard is a mess. What you didn't know on the inside was the owner of that house is very sick, terminally ill, if you will. Oh, yeah. And the house that's so pristine, as you saw it and you admired it, they were facing challenges too. Mother and father are alcoholics. The kids, they never spend time with the kids. So they buy them by giving them materially. They don't even take care of the dog and the cat that you saw. In fact, they've exchanged their relationship for the dog and the cat so the kids can keep busy. How many of you are getting this analogy yet? Anybody?
I am.
What I'm trying to tell you is just because something looks like on the outside doesn't mean that it's in the inside. Let's think about challenges that people face every time I drive in my neighborhood. I've often said that every house has a story. In fact, when you move, anybody ever moved? I have. Anybody ever moved? How many
I have.
of us ever moved? Yeah. Did you ever think, what were the people like before I moved in this home? What were they like? Why are we talking about these challenges? Because even with us, we have inbuilt houses in our human body. And what I'm talking about is physical body. That's our home. That's our place of rest and peace and whatever we do to our bodies, because we bring in a lot on our bodies. We have to start doing our bodies good, because you might look really great on the outside, but inside you haven't done your human house good. Number one, you have challenges, just like the neighborhood that we went on the journey and we looked upon these things. We all have scenarios. Which will you be? Will you be in the neighborhood, the house that does something about the scenarios I just gave you? Because we have a choice. Let's challenge ourselves to do best, to do our best human body. Feeding our souls, you know, in our house bodies, we crave a lot of things. I want you to put another bullet point, and I want you to write the word crave. Your bullet points are your pauses. I want you to be honest with yourself and write the thing that you crave the most right now. This is your pause point. Have you feel the desire if you have craved it? You know, it's like having ice cream. I love ice cream. I love popcorn. And when I want ice cream, I want it. We fulfill those desires. But if there is anything in your life right now that you say, I'm challenged with it, but my craving about this challenge is first I need to have the desire to change it. You see, craving something is a desire and a passion for it. Some people come from broken homes, like you had the scenario. Do you crave to fix it? And if we're talking about past, you live in your house body. How are you making that challenge? Do you accept the challenge to have the desire to want to change it? You see, because if one of the houses, the house particularly with the alcoholic parents that you just passed by, if they crave to put the bottle down and get some recovery help, because it's not that easy, but having the desire to want to fix it so that they can be the best that they can be. You see, that desire to make the family better is going to benefit those children, right? Right? They won't give their children substitutes. They will give their children quality time, and they'll have the desire to want to. How many of you are getting this? You see, your bullet point right now, whatever you're craving in your life, whether it be relationship, a lot of people will say, I crave the best relationship. Well, how are you doing in your relationship with yourselves? Are you making yourself the best that you can be, one step at a time? Are you working on you, your in-house body that you are living in? Because no one has the power to do it but you. People can make suggestions, and they can try to fit in your shoes, but nobody's going to make it better but you. You see the house that we passed by that had no flowers, dirt, yard may have been a little messy. You see the man who had the terminal illness could have used some help. Very few knew that this man was suffering from terminal illness. But you know what we did? We saw the yard and we made judgments. How many of you are like that with people? You see the outside and you start to judge. How many of us have done that? I have done that.
I have.
Yeah, yeah. Good morning and welcome to our program. Please let us know where you are listening in from as our audience members. So we've judged the person, and what did you find out when you judged the person? Did you misjudge them, or were you right?
I misjudged them.
Had you pause and got an understanding of him that, oh, he's been sick. In fact, he's out of the hospital 6 months out of 12. But he doesn't bother anybody. See, not everybody knew. When you start to understand, pause and understand, how much more can you crave for compassion for other people? How many of you have that compassion for other people? I'm going to ask you a deeper question. How many people want people to have compassion for themselves? I want people to have compassion for me. And at the same time, I have compassion for other people. I have been put in situations where I have repeated the same thing in my life. The same thing has happened in my life. And yet, being hard on myself because I can be my worst enemy, I've come to learn to understand to have compassion for other people. And oftentimes am misjudged because I didn't respond the way someone thought I should have. Because a lot of you are going to say your challenges are dealing with other people when you dismiss yourself to deal with. Why am I saying this? Because we lack understanding. We are quick to judge. Pause and think about that. So what do you crave within yourself? We will fulfill, and we are the type of people, most of us, that will fulfill, if we really like somebody, we will try to fulfill their every waking desire without even thinking about what we like. You're lost. I want you to pause and think about it for a moment. By the way, this podcast is challenges as we pause and reflect. Because we're challenged with that. We're quick to judge. Now I want you to get back into whatever mode of transportation you have, and I want you to take a ride. Another ride of this sort. We look into ourselves. Because that's not the journey that we take every day. And I want you to look inside deeply, the soul of your mirror, which is you. And I want you to look into your soul in the mirror and ask yourself, what do I desire the most? Now we've changed the craving into desire. What do you desire the most? You know, because I thought that my craving was sex. I'm going to be very, very honest with you guys. But you know what my desire really was? To be loved. And in order to be loved, I needed to learn, number one, why would I not love myself? You see, see what just happened if you're all listening? I said, and I want you to come a little closer. That means to hear me out. I had this insatiable desire to use sex as a weapon. Because why? I thought that was love. That's what I desired. Sometimes when I'm talking about me, we think that we crave the sex, but it's not the sex that we're craving, although we are powerful human beings. We've got to find out what is the desire. You know, it's just like having a sweet tooth and you say, I'm craving something sweet. So if I say I'm craving something sweet, it's not going to be a cake. More than likely, it's going to be a cookie or a Reese's candy. You see, because my desire was to feed the craving of the sweet, to satisfy that. Anybody understand? So I want you to look and go ahead, Trish.
I was gonna say yes, I understand.
Yeah. It makes so much sense because guess why? We evade these things about ourselves, and you know what we call them? Secrets. And you're the only one living with that secret. But I want you to think about it to yourself. You don't have to tell anybody. You see, I'm going to tell my story because I know that it has helped many of you. Now, in those bullet points, we talked about craving, but the next bullet point is the craving and the desire. See, because we can have a craving for something that we totally don't need. Totally don't need to feed that. But now the desire is the root. And I want to talk about this humanly and openly because we've got to do soul searching. Pause and reflect on that for a moment. Now, I come to you and I ask you, what is it that you're challenged by within yourself? Because, you know, we meet people every day, people that will tell us about their neighbors. How many of you have ever met somebody like that? You come, you're looking for a family, or you're looking for somebody and they're not home. How many of you have ever had that happen?
I have.
They know everything about you when you get up, how many kids you got, what you ate last night, but you ask them one question about them and they shut it down. Why do we do that? Sometimes we give too much information about other people, but we are afraid to come in this room and start to talk about ourselves. We need to gain lion strength. We need to be aware that we're capable of having the kind of challenges that make us strong. And if we do have any kind of a weakness, we can work on those or challenges. We can thus work on that. Good morning and welcome to Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Good morning and thank you so much. By the way, if you're liking our program, I love the orange and yellow, guys. Thank you so much for those hearts. Do me a favor really quick. We're making our YouTube page grow. Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Could you go and subscribe to that? We want that page to grow. We are right now, what is it, 20 people right now, to my co-host?
22.
22. And that is because we're encouraging you guys. Please do that, guys. You won't regret it if you like our program today. Our question is, what challenges have you faced, past or present? Facing the lion is always about challenges. We've got to look inside of ourselves. Today may be the first look that we have at ourselves to say, what am I facing? You know, nobody's ever asked me that. And if you don't ask yourself, no one is going to ask it of you. Where are you listening in from, audience member? Where are you listening? What state? No addresses, please. I am from West Coast, California. Trish, you are from?
I'm from South Carolina.
And she was proud to say that. Texas. Thank you so much. If you go to our YouTube page, you won't miss a beat. You're going to feel like you're with us every day. We have so many videos. We've got 200 and something videos, and that's of the last 2 years. We haven't even went back into the vault, and we're going to be doing that very shortly. Today is the day to challenge yourself, to get to know yourself, to find out who you are. And whatever you're facing at this moment, to be able to say, I accept the challenge to fix it. I have the desire. Oh, 23 subscribers. Yay! Thank you. Welcome, welcome. And that's it. It costs you no money, guys, to go and subscribe to that page. You'll just like it. You'll like our reels. Trish is the author of that page, my co-host, and she has done an excellent job. Sometimes in our podcast, we ask you interactive questions. You guys can answer right then and there, okay? And thank you so much. We are with another audience member. Thank you so much. And where are you listening in from? Is it Tamara? Tamara? Hello there. Where are you listening in from? Please and thank you. And I'm in West Coast, California. I am a wellness coach. And we are asking everyone who is listening to us today, please go and subscribe to our YouTube page. And Trish, you have the link. It is Vibe Talk Facing the Lion. We have so many discussions like this one. And we're asking the question, what challenges have you faced, past or present? Why do we ask that question? Because the more that you think about it, the more that you discover more about yourself. How many of you learn something new about yourself every day? I do. And our audience member from Texas says, most recently health issues. Are you giving them the needed attention to feel better? Can I ask you that? And every day you learn about yourself. Because if you're experiencing health issues, we want you to be able to take care of that. Don't ignore it, like me. Because you know what I do? I have this painful sciatic, and I'm ignoring it, and I can't sleep at night because it's so bad. I literally have to sleep under a warm blanket to soothe it. You said probably not the care that you need to be taking. Don't beat yourself up for that. Because just like I just said, I'm the same way. Sometimes we have to challenge ourselves, you know, letting our, finding a way to feel better, accepting the challenge to feel better in whatever we're doing, okay? And that's okay. You'll learn. So back to our comment challenges within ourselves. We have to pause and reflect on what desire do we have within ourselves. What is our desire? Our desire is not like a craving. Our desire is what is in us, what is intertwined in us, what we really want to do. And today is a day to accept a challenge within yourself. To have the courage to be brave and to function as a living, breathing human that you are. We're going to be right back, and we're going to turn it over to Trisha's Treasures. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Podcast. Go check your favorite streaming platforms. Feel free to be interactive and tell us your stories. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube, and so much more. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Go give it a shot. Facing the lion is always positive. And so I ask you today, as we are going to be facing our lions or challenges of the week, what did you face this week? This challenge.
We're back, and I see your comment. Glad to catch you on here again. Me too. I'll tell you what happened before we go to Trisha's Treasures. I lost this page of where all the people can come in. I literally lost it, and I don't know what happened, so I made another page. And then all of a sudden, this page showed up again. But just in case, like us on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll never lose us again. Thank you for that beautiful comment. Now we're going to turn our attention to Trish. Trish?
In my Trish's Treasures recently, I posted something about being grateful for the good and the bad. And that was something I did an assignment on our channel. And I was talking about the personal growth that I had and looking at my journey of how I'm growing as a person. And so I did the letter G, and what I thought of was, okay, G, I'm going to say that I'm grateful. Grateful for the good and the bad. It's very contradictory to us when we think of being grateful for the bad things. Like, how does that make sense? But when the negative things happen and the challenging things happen in your life, it's very beneficial for you. And for me personally, it's beneficial for me because it teaches me a lesson of what can I do better next time. And okay, this happened, and if it does revisit this same issue, I know what to do. Or this is something that I won't do ever again because it affects me in a negative way. And
Thank
being
you for that.
being grateful for the challenges in your life teaches you resilience, and perseverance because challenges shape you into who you are, the past and the present, like the question says. And I am happy for that question. What challenges am I facing, the past and the present? Because it allows me to think about and appreciate where I am now versus where I was then, and take from where I was then into where I am now, and if I'm doing better. So when you face your challenges, think about how it's benefiting you, and think about what you need to do next. What do you need to change? So when it does happen again, you'll be ready.
Thank you for that. And welcome to our program, those of you who are just coming in. Where are you listening in from? And our audience member from Texas says, such a good thought, Trish. Did you hear me?
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead, Trish. I'm sorry.
No, I was telling them thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You want to hear more of us? Go right to our channel. Trish's Treasure. Just beautiful thoughts. Also, I'd like to remind all of you before we go, Saturday nights, we have a new addition in our family of Vibe Talk. It's Vibe Talk After Dark with me as your host, and I'm taking your dedications, song requests, and we're talking about music and playing music. I want to play you a sample of what Trisha did for that piece. And I think you guys are going to like it. Go to YouTube. You can hear all of our shows that we have done. It's a great show. Okay. Our audience member says that's something I will really enjoy. Okay. Find it. It's on our YouTube. You can hashtag it as well. But you're going to be able to hear music. You can request it. You can also request music even when we're not live. Just post it where we'll find it and we'll play your song, even if you have a dedication. But I want you to listen to this. This is all Trish. Yeah, that's all Trish. Thank you so much, Trish. So Vibe Talk After Dark, I don't have an exclusive time. Just come join me on our Facebook page. Follow that page because you'll know when it comes on, and our Instagram page. It's After Dark, and After Dark could mean anytime. So I think you're all going to enjoy it. So far, we've got pretty good reviews for it. Our numbers are up. We're so grateful to all of you for liking that so much. And it's affiliated with Live Talk Facing the Lion podcast. There you'll see it. You can go back and listen to the music. I love music. Trish loves music. She makes music. And Trisha's Treasures is all a part of what we're doing here. My question, last but not least, what did you learn today in our podcast about yourself? And how did it make you feel? And I'll start with me. You're a musician. What do you play? We got another musician, Trish. Good for you. I love music. What are you playing? While I answer that question, I learned about me today that I need patience, but it doesn't mean that I'm not a patient person. I'm learning to master that in my own embodiment of myself because patience benefits the giver as well as the receiver. And I'm discovering that it's okay to continue to work on the challenges that we face. And I'm discovering me more and more. Our um, audience member says, I'm learning to have patience as well. I think it's something we all need to work on. I'm not the most patient person. I turn it over to you, Trish. What did you learn and discover about yourself today?
I learned and discovered that my craving is to be around a lot of people, but in reality, my desire is really to be accepted for who I am fully. And that's why I want to be surrounded by people that accept me. And yeah, that made me feel like I have to work on accepting myself before I worry about being accepted
Hi,
by
Ethan. Glad you come to our program. Go ahead.
by other people. That's how this made me feel today.
Love it. We do that, guys, so that we know that you guys are getting the best out of our program. If you've come in the middle of it, don't worry because it's being recorded and we're streaming everywhere. I am late by some days putting up our new podcast episodes. I'm hoping to get it all done. But nevertheless, if you're on our Facebook page where we are right now, join that page and you can hear this broadcast uh, and you can play it and you can talk about it. We get really raw here. Trish and I were just talking about, guys, for those of you who've refound us, for those of you who've been looking for us, we're so grateful that you guys come back. Doesn't that mean so much, Trish?
Yes, yes it does. And it also means for me that we have a good impact on y'all and it's something that you guys needed. So it makes me very grateful for you guys.
Yes, I could not, I would be remiss if I didn't say, you guys come back to us, and you say you missed us, and we hear these sentiments. We have grown. Whereas if you were with us in the earlier days, go check us out. Let us know how you feel. Saturday night, going back to Saturday night, when you come on, it's a different kind of vibe talk because it's about music, but it is about being in your feelings, and it's about you guys, what you want to talk about. So it's just not about music. I guarantee you'll like it, and I want to say this in closing that one of our reels that I put up, 500 and something people like that. So we will do advertisements. Let us know what you like, what you want to hear. We keep it smooth and chill, and it's about an hour. So if you want to go find out what it's all about, it's right on YouTube, as this will be. I want to say thank you to my amazing co-host for all the work that you do on yourself and on our channel. I want to say thank you to our incredible guest. You are testament of our live and interactive. We just don't say we're live and interactive, but your conversations, your thoughts, they mean so much to us. And people really see that you guys are on here. We are so very grateful to you for taking the challenge and accepting the challenge to get into conversation with us. And I want to say thank you to all of you who thumbs up us. We've talked to so many people around the world. We're always available for you by your direct connect, our phone lines. You can text us, message us, and on our podcast, I might add that you can leave a voice message on our podcast. We'll read the comments. Thank you guys so much for all that you do, and thank you for this week and helping us challenge ourselves as we become the best versions of ourselves. Thank you for accepting the challenge. Until next time, you're very welcome. We'll see you, and let us know what you think about the videos and the streams that you see if you get a chance, okay? Have a great weekend, everybody. If you have something inspiring, something fun that you're doing, something that creates a new you, getting married, let us know. We'll shout you guys out for sure. Have a good day and an even better weekend. I'll see you back here Saturday night.
Facing the lion is always